I'm just sitting in the fucking shitter listening to the RowdCAST. So take your iPods out, stick them up your ass, and put them on blast, because shit's about to get really fucking weird.
The RowdCAST contains adult languages, adult themes, and adult situations. Viewer discretion is advised.
No! No! No!
Entering the RowdCAST, an online radio show brought to you weekly by me, your host, Rowdy Radloff, coming straight from Toledo, Ohio, with our many cast of characters. I am live, I am uncensored, I am unfiltered, and I'm coming right to your ears, right to your brain, so listen up, because it's going to be a hell of a show.
In the motherfucking living room. I just remodeled the studio today. We had to move it. We got a baby on the way, so I'm in the fucking living room with my fucking feet kicked up. It's how I roll, man. It's a fucking RowdCAST. This is the 73rd episode. I'm coming back. I got a very, very special guest today. He's a guy that I met on the internet and I've been talking with, and he's a very interesting cat. He's going to be joining me from Norway. We're just going to talk about some weird shit, man, and kind of his views on some things, the way that he sees things, and definitely probably different from the aspect of the typical American. That he's definitely intriguing, and you might learn something. He's a pretty intelligent dude. So I have to introduce to you Ole Christian Henne. Is that pronounced correctly, sir?
It's actually Ole Christian. But say Ole, that's totally fine, bro. Totally fine.
Ole?
No, just say Ole.
Ole. Ole. I like that.
Pablo Escobar style.
Pablo Escobar style? Yeah, buddy. You like some Pablo Escobar?
Yeah, I've seen the few episodes on Netflix.
Narcos?
Yeah.
It's a good show, man.
It's a good show.
Yeah, I haven't finished it, but it's interesting.
Yeah, I didn't like the last episode, but it's good. It's good.
He's that's a true story, you know. That's Pablo Escobar was came from nothing to fucking kingpin of Mexico. You guys got any big drug dealers in Norway?
We got some few drug pushers and this and that, but you know how it is. It's just where there's drugs, there's everywhere in the country. I can't say specifically, but it's not exactly an epidemic. Only for the drug users, I say. It's definitely they're trying to try to quit from heroin and
What is it? What is the biggest drug that you guys have an issue with there? Is heroin? Is that it? Is that the big one?
I think it's heroin and crack, but I think heroin is mostly the real deal. But
that's what's
and
getting
also
bad here.
weed.
Weed?
Yeah, weed mostly.
Weed?
Yeah, apparently everybody's freaking out about weed stuff. I don't think weed is such a dangerous subject, but when you go to public schools, everybody's talking about it like weed is dangerous, weed this, weed that.
Really?
So, yeah.
That's insane. We're starting to get our culture's starting to change. We're starting to accept weed a little more. It's starting to become legalized in certain states. So, this bullshit, this propaganda that the government's pushed for so long about weed being it'll kill you and it'll make you crazy and that shit. We've kind of realized that that's bullshit. And our policies and stuff are starting to change, and hopefully we're hoping the whole country will be legal soon. But that's crazy that people are scared of marijuana.
Well, the thing is about my country in Norway, it's basically an annoying ass stepdad. He's like political correct all the freaking time. It's like you can't go outside like after 12 o'clock, and it's like not that you'll get yourself killed, but it's more like everything needs to be clean, like totally. You can't. How should I say this? It's like if you break off the speed limit of the 80 zone or something like that, and just like the police is going to make a huge debate about it and like this and that. So to me, weed is the least of my problems. I think here in Norway they shouldn't really make a huge topic about it because it's a freaking plant. I mean, I've read medical books about it, so I don't see why people are freaking out. Same thing with alcohol, because people are like people choose their own vice no matter what you try to say to them. And
exactly, everybody's got a little hole in their soul, they got to fill it with something.
Yeah, it's like my vice is women and alcohol, not weed in particular, but I would definitely like to try weed.
Oh yeah, man, I smoke a lot of weed. That's something that I definitely don't think.
Enjoy that shit, man. Enjoy that shit.
Yeah.
I actually have a friend of mine who actually sells weeds. So to me, I'm not like exactly a boy.
In the city where I live, actually the state, Ohio, it was on the ballot in November to be legalized, and they passed it down by a lot, actually. But what the government's trying to do, though, they came up with this bill where they were going to tax it, and they were going to make all these rich people were going to get rich off it. They'd only let like 5 people grow it in these certain areas and stuff. And it was kind of like a monopoly. So all the people said, "Fuck that! We're not gonna play that shit. We'll just smoke it illegally until we can figure out some other kind of way." Yeah. But yeah, you never know, man. Well, as far as police, the police that you deal with, you guys worry about any kind of corruption or?
I think it's the good news is that this country here in Norway is actually quite stable when it comes to police force. The only problem is that we have a rise of Islamic extremists, threatening about our way of life. They want to turn Norway into a fucking Sharia law.
Yeah,
which isn't going to happen.
Do you have
in
a
my
lot?
book.
Do you see that? Do you have a lot of that? A lot of extremists and shit like that?
We got a few, but it's definitely a huge problem in Italy and mostly in Europe, especially in Germany, especially with the whole rape culture in Germany. Definitely. So
really? You said the rape culture in Germany?
Yeah, apparently.
What do you mean by that?
Apparently there's so many outsiders coming in and out frequently, and a lot of tourists who are visiting Germany, because Germany is actually a good place to visit about ancient history and stuff like that. But apparently a lot of female tourists are getting harassed by, typical Afghanistan, Albanians, that sort of type of people, groping their ass. And what's the worst part is?
It's funny that you say that, because I just seen this video about this reporter where she was reporting, and these guys were running up, and they're all wasted, and they were grabbing her tits and fucking kissing on her neck and shit. It's fucked up. Man.
But here's the thing. It is the funniest part. The German police force actually knew there were a lot of outsiders, unrecognized German citizenship and all that, and they did nothing about it. They just wanted to cool down and then report it afterwards. That's why the media has got a huge wind out of it, and it's very poorly done by the politics in Germany. But that's a whole different topic. I'm not interested in that. Germany isn't actually quite a pretty city no more due to it's actually becoming an Amsterdam city now. So they're actually legalizing red light district in Germany.
Really?
Kind of ironic.
Things are changing in Germany, huh? So okay,
yeah, they're changing.
This just shows you how uneducated that I am. But so you're in Norway. Where exactly is Norway located? Is that Switzerland? Is that where the fuck is that its own country? Yeah, I know I'm bad.
No,
where exactly are you located?
Okay. It's okay, because a lot of we Norwegians, we make fun of not every American, but we make fun the dumb stereotypical American. I don't believe that all Americans are stupid. I don't believe it. I think everyone has their unique and their personality. But when you talk like you don't know where it isn't like that. It's kind
I
of
sound like an idiot, don't
funny.
I?
Yeah.
Well,
But again, it's
well,
not
hey,
your
at least
fault.
you're
It's not
honest.
your fault.
But
It's not
yeah,
your fault.
but where
It's not-
exactly is it? You're
Well,
north.
if you
north
if you
of
look at the map, Europe,
Europe?
and you see the little island from UK and little upwards where it's an sort of a land shaped like a guitar. That's actually Norway. Next to it is Sweden. Upwards is Finland, and a little bit onwards to the right is actually Russia.
Gotcha. Okay, so I
Do you
I
know
know
where
where
it
you're
is now?
talking. Yep, I know exactly where you're talking.
But
So-
again, I have nothing against Americans. I just watched I just recently right now just watched a documentary series about the Ford Mustang, the 2015 on Netflix. It's pretty awesome. I love the American muscle car Ford
Yeah,
Mustang. It's,
the cars
it's,
interest you. We
yeah,
have
oh,
some,
yeah,
we have
the
some
Ford
wild
Mustang.
cars. Definitely a Ford Mustang. You like the Mustang? I'm not a big
Yeah,
car
yeah.
guy. I'm not a big car guy.
Yeah.
It's not. I don't know. There's something about cars that just like mechanics and stuff. That's one thing that I just it comes to technology. I'm pretty on top of it, but it comes to changing my oil. I don't know where to fucking start.
Well, as far as I do read, I pay attention to the news, and American industry cars are having problem lately. They got to adapt to new technology. They can't just rely on old fuel efficiency. Just recently on the newspaper and news recently, they're actually going to create cars made of hydrogen. Hydro
Yeah.
cars.
Yeah, I've seen that. You know what I
There's-
just seen today? They have who Elon Musk is? Have you ever heard of Elon Musk? He's the
No,
guy.
no.
He's a
Speak.
fucking genius. I mean, this guy is fucking. He's like it when it comes to technology. He's the guy that made this this new generator or it's pretty much like a giant battery that you buy for your house, and it could power your whole house. So they're thinking that electric companies are going to be screwed if people start buying these things. But
Yeah.
he has this thing. It's called what the fuck is it called? Virtual something loop, and it's what he was saying is all the traffic in LA and shit is so bad. I mean, it's fucking ridiculous. With some cities we have here in the U.S., the traffic's. I mean, you drive home and it's a 3-hour commute because you're sitting in traffic for so long, and there's just too many people stuffed into these fucking metro areas. So he had this idea for this loop, and what it is, it's like a little train kind of that it's in this tunnel, and traveling speeds like 700 miles per hour, and there's magnets that are pushing it, and you just fly through this fucking tunnel and to get you to your destination. And they've built a mile track, and all these kids and these colleges are working on it. They're thinking that's gonna be a thing pretty soon. So it's pretty nuts to be flying through air pretty much. So I mean, technology, the world is fucking getting crazy, man. We're gonna have flying cars. I mean, self-driving cars are already here. That's something that scares the shit out of me.
Yeah.
Sit back and
it's
let
scary.
a robot drive your car. And you can't press the brakes. I don't know about all that.
Yeah,
don't
it's
know.
gonna be, and pretty much soon we're gonna have the T101 model of Arnold Schwarzenegger, except the Australian accent, yeah, the Dominator.
Exactly, bro. That's what I've been saying.
Everything's
Somebody that
gonna-
actually
everything's
agrees with me. It is. It's
Yeah,
Terminator. It's like the plot of the movie Terminator. It's gonna. We're leading to it. Google
well,
is fucking Skynet.
Well, James Cameron tried to warn us that if we don't actually end wars, war will end us at least.
Exactly. The machine will
that's,
fucking take over.
Yeah, it's not just machines. It's also a hint of especially the Terminator 2, Judgment Day. I love that movie.
Yeah, one of my favorites.
There was one particular scene. One particular scene where he was filming about nuclear explosion. It's like if this explosion doesn't kill you, the aftermath will. So that's a very powerful scene, very powerful, and a very realistic. I love that scene. Where that woman. She basically
Sarah
looks
Connor?
and everything turns to Sarah Connor. And then basically she turns to ash after the explosion, and that's basically could exactly happen.
Yeah, that part's pretty fucking badass.
Yeah,
I really
that
don't.
part-
Have you ever seen the movie Ex Machina?
No, I haven't.
Need to check that one out if you're fucking. I won't
I've
spoil
seen
it
Alien.
for you. Alien's another great one. James Cameron's fucking master, man.
It's-
But
I
yeah,
freaking
if
love
you ever get a chance, watch Ex Machina. And it'll creep you out about AI and building these fucking lifelike robot models and shit like that. It's I think that's it, man. I think that's how it's. I think we're building our own demise. Where, like you said, tech. If we don't end it, it'll end us. And I think that's the next step of evolution. We're gonna be getting robot parts. You know what? If you can, a new heart. You know, I read this. I saw this other thing too that they're doing today is, this woman a long time ago. And sorry that I don't have the fucking, I don't have the information sitting here right in front of me, but the one thing is this is a doctor in some university a long time ago, and she took these rats and she took like a young rat and stitched it to an old rat. And what she noticed after a couple weeks or 2 weeks or something, the old rat was starting to regenerate tissue and organs. It was like its life was starting to come back to it. And people thought she was crazy. No, people thought she was crazy. They kind of dismissed her. Well, now there's universities that are doing this, and what they're, once you turn like 25 or 26, your aging process stops. The things that keep you from aging, they kind of go away, and then that's when you start aging more rapidly, and your cells kind of start dying. Well, this is a way to stop that from happening, and that you'll never have that, so people can live longer. Your cells will regenerate, things like that. I mean, this is a fucking possibility. This is what people are working on. It's fucking nuts, man.
Yeah. The thing is about the cell tissue is that every cell deteriorates itself. It's a part of life, and so the body clones a new tissue, the exact copy. But the problem is that every time it clones, it starts to get smaller and smaller, the DNA string, and it's very interesting what you just said there, because who knows, we might even exceed to one. Who knows?
We live hundreds of years,
future,
but you got to think. You got to think though too. It's like I was just saying about L.A. There's too many people already in these fucking metro areas. We're running out of room. I mean, there's areas where you could put people, but you're taking too many people and stuffing them into too small of an area. If people aren't dying, if people are living longer, we're gonna have a population problem like fucking China does.
Yeah, we are sort of having a small problem. Nobody wants to admit that the overpopulation towards the world itself is not a problem. It is a problem, no matter what people try to counter argue. Because here's the thing: sooner or later, we're gonna have to think a lot of ways that aren't exactly ethical, and we can't just do it by democratic or being republic about it either. So it's going to be harsh one of these days. So how do we survive is really up to us ourselves, really.
We get in a fucking rocket ship and we shoot to Mars. That's how we survive, and we make a fucking a dome on Mars where we live, or the moon, something like that. I'm telling you, that's what that Elon Musk is saying. That's what some of these guys are saying is the only way to proceed with mankind is to go somewhere else, because we're fucking flying through space right now, and at any time a fucking rock, an asteroid can hit us, and we're just playing fucking roulette, dude, through the galaxy, and at any time that happens, we're fucking done for. I mean, at any minute, people, you don't realize the chances. I think it's like every couple years we go through this, like, it's kind of like an asteroid belt that the Earth goes through, and we just barely miss fucking comets and asteroids. And if one giant one hits it, like what happened to the dinosaurs, we're done for it. Nuclear fallout, nuclear winter, fucking the skies turn black, no sunlight, everybody dies, everything dies. Could happen.
Yeah.
Not to be pessimistic.
I think overpopulation is the most realistic apocalyptic.
Yeah,
I think that's usually what could happen if we don't find an alternative solution.
And hopefully we do. Hopefully we do find some kind of fucking way to prolong life. And that's what I was saying. Like, I think that'd be cool to live forever, but you got to die. Everybody's got to die. That's part of the game.
Everybody has their
expiration
own life
date.
period.
Yep.
Yeah,
and that's the crazy thing about it. You never know. you don't know how you're going to go. You know, nobody knows how they're going to punch out, but we know that it's coming for everybody, you know, sooner or later. And that's a, you know, but I don't think you can't sit and think about that all the time. If you do that, you'll be a crazy person.
Yeah, absolutely. And as far as I know, I don't want to live forever. I do want to live slightly a bit longer, just to see how the future brings towards ourselves. But other than that, I don't want to exactly live like 1 billion years later.
No, yeah, me neither. Because this shit gets old already, you know. Yeah. I mean, you gotta love life, and nobody wants to die. But yeah, I don't want to hang around for too long. I think shit get boring.
No, after you read a couple of history books and so on and so forth, you realize that our previous ancestors have pretty much lived and died just as much as we're living now, except they didn't have internet.
Well, and that's what, you know, exactly. Yeah, you didn't have a way to have everything at the touch of your finger.
Yeah.
But that's another thing, you know, we're, as far as civilizations go, you know, we're kind of overdue for a mass extinction. You know, we have been for a long time. So, like I said, just a roll of the dice. Who gives a fuck? It's a rowdy world, you know? It's a crazy fucking world. So I gotta ask you though, it's a little bit. What's up, Paulie B? We got Paulie B up in the chat room. Good seeing you, man. Thank you for listening. You know, I have to ask you what is, you know, you kind of made a little joke about, you know, me not knowing shit, where Norway was located and shit like that. But what is, you know, for the most part, I want to have your view on Americans and the U.S. and kind of maybe people that you know, like what is a general. I mean, I don't want you to make like assumptions or anything, but what do you guys think of Americans when you think of Americans? And be honest. I want you to be honest. I want to hear it from your brain, you know, your perspective when you think of U.S. culture and Americans. Well,
I think America, as it's to me, it's like an innocent child that tries to understand things, but learns in a very different way. Learns in a different way, in some ways in a wrong way. But to me, there are so many positive things I can pick from America's side, and so many negative things that a lot of us would agree on America's side. For example, I love the Ford Mustang. I love it. But when it comes to American politics and economy, I mean, how Americans can't exactly coexist, you know, the rich and the poor mentality. It's like everybody's got to be slightly richer. It's like, I don't understand why Americans need 5 cars and 5 condos and 5 mansions, like the super rich. It's like, I don't get it. It's like, you're not, money itself isn't going to make you younger. It's never going to make you younger. So I don't see exactly the point. I see the point where you can buy a nice house and a nice car, but really, life itself is more precious than fucking dollar bills. They're just paper in the end.
Definitely. So, you know, that's something I've always said too. You know, like those nice cars. Those cars are going to rust. They're going to deteriorate. They're going to be nothing someday. Fucking the clothes that you have is going to fucking shred and fall off, and it's going to be nothing. It's going to be nothing but grains of fucking fabric or strains. You know, everything is going to deteriorate and be gone. So if you wrap all of your money and everything you have in your possessions, there's something wrong with living that way. That's a fucked up way of living. Yeah, it's fun to spend money and fucking, you know, ball out of control and have shit, but if that's what you strive for, is to have more cars and someone more houses and bigger houses, then that's not the right way to live. I think you're fucking up. But I wouldn't say that's of all Americans. I'll let you finish what you're saying though. I just wanted to put that in there.
Yeah. But I do want to say that even though Americans have some shitty values and shitty problems that are so stupid that most of us around the world just laugh about it, we too here in Norway have problems. We do have politicians. We do have. Let's just say that if you're an asshole, we got one too here in Norway. If you know what I mean. It's like it's not that.
Are you talking about Donald Trump?
Yeah, I think Donald Trump is crazy.
It's crazy, isn't it? It's really it's like it started as for fun with him, like he was fucking around, and now it's like people actually taking him serious, and they don't. The guy can say whatever the fuck he wants to say.
Yeah.
He's saying he could shoot somebody. and that nothing would happen, and that people would still vote for him.
I love the part when he said, "My father gave me a small loan of $1 million." What the hell?
Yeah, and he acts like
exactly,
and he acts like that was nothing, or that nothing was given to him. Nobody gets a loan for $1,000 to start their first company from their parents. Well, that's fucking insane. He acts like he's not entitled or something, and that's what you're kind of talking about. Those kind of people, and that's not how everybody is.
No, I don't think so. I don't think all Americans are that stupid. I think there will always be stereotypical black people are like, "Oh, the white man, he doesn't like us. He always want to treat us crap." Like,
yep.
Bullshit. Norwegians and Swedes, they make fun of each other all the time, but they don't need to say it out loud. They just poke each other with a stick. It's a common thing in the human world.
Exactly. It's called humor, and we're getting into a world where it's you're not allowed to have humor anymore. People will fucking jump on you and attack you.
That's
scary. Is that how Norway is too now? Is that you starting to get more like politically correct and shit?
Yeah, but we do have skits and talk shows and comedies that make fun of politicians. I mean, it's like the more politicians here in Norway try to be political correct, the more that we can't just sit by and ignore. We just have to make fun of them as hell. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, exactly. There's this guy. I put this site up, this thing on my webpage, RowdCAST. It says, guy claims his goal is to bang 1,000 black women to prove that Black Lives Matter. That's his thing. He said he claims that he's had sex with over 2,400 women, 2,400 women in his lifetime, all white except 2 Asians. So now he's on a black. He's just banging black chicks. Yeah, check that out. Yeah, that's What do you think about Go ahead.
No. You were saying about something else.
I was going to ask you. I'm going to start saying some names to you, and I want you tell me what you think about these people from America. George Bush. What do you think about George Bush?
Well, I like the part when he said, when he was mentioning about Katrina, it's like, Mr. President, what are you going to do about Katrina? We're going to find her. I believe a foreign policy is a foreign policy. I mean, the guy. The guy is obviously. That shows you America is how a dumb motherfucker like that can be running the country. But I think George Bush has definitely made. Yeah, but listen. I think George Bush has definitely made America more bad image than ever.
Oh, definitely. That was kind of what I was getting at. I know from a lot of people that I've talked to from different countries that he's left a stain for America. I mean, that's what people would think of when they think of us, and just how can we let someone like that fucking in office? But he's a retard.
I just gotta ask to the behalf of all Americans out there. How the fuck did you vote this guy? I mean, seriously.
I don't know, man. I did too. For second time, I didn't vote. First for him, but the first time I did, I bid it. I was on board the fucking George Bush Express. Yeah. Second time I went for Kerry, but didn't work out that way. So, but yeah, he's interesting cat. Yeah. And he definitely was an idiot, and definitely he's one of those guys that a war is a business to the U.S. You understand that?
Definitely.
Out of every year that U.S. has been a country, the United States of America has been a country, there's only been about 4 or 5 years that we haven't been in some kind of turmoil or war. That shows you that it's a money machine. The gear's got to turn, the blood's got to spill, fucking bombs got to be made, they got to blow up, things got to get paid for. It's a military industrial complex. And everybody's people are scraping off the top. When you got companies like Halliburton and shit that we go in, we blow up your fucking city, and then we send them in to fucking build it all back up, and they get paid for it. We have contractors that we send in to do that kind of shit. And it's like it's fucking outrageous, man. It drives me fucking
and the rise of private military corporations such as PMC are actually at the rise. They're not actually gigantically huge, but they're actually they're growing in small numbers. Actually, it's funny.
Actually, that's another thing. We could talk all day about the banks. The banks being fucking corrupt, and I mean the banks really rule the world. And what I hope not, but the way things look, the way loans are being given and shit like that I see with my job, we could be heading towards another financial collapse like we had in 2008. A lot of people lost their homes, a lot of foreclosures, a lot of people went bankrupt. And I'd hate that to happen again, but I don't know. It seems like the economy's been doing well or building itself back up, but it could happen again.
It could happen again.
Yep.
I as a fellow Norwegian who likes the American culture, I don't want another 2008 collapse of the economy.
Yeah, it was rough. It was rough for a lot of people.
It was definitely rough. I think a lot of Norwegian investors, like stock investors, invested in a lot of companies like Apple, Microsoft, Ford Motors, Toyota Motors, and so on and so forth. It's like the American economy really affected the world too.
Oh,
so,
definitely. A lot of people. Yeah, it wasn't just us that were hurting. It hurt a lot of fucking people, man. And I hope it doesn't happen again, because it would be bad for my job.
There was actually a rich private investor, Norwegian private investor, who had an insider, and then the insider said, "Hey, buddy, I think you should pull all your stock money right now." And he's
insider trading.
Why? Because inside trading. It's actually illegal, but I could give two fucks because everybody's doing inside trading.
Fuck yeah, they do. Martha Stewart was fucking doing inside trading, man. She had to go to jail.
And so. So he just pulled all the money, and so when the stocks come down, of course, when you pull the money and you put a lot of money into it, you lose a lot of money because you haven't gained anything. But he could have lost a lot more if he actually stayed on that account instead of just moving it or pulling out. So, it's funny because I read about the stock market book and so on and so forth, and it says inside trading is illegal. I'm like, bullshit. It's just government.
Yeah, you just don't let anybody know. You try to fucking be careful with what you do.
Everybody's doing
people
it.
Are watching.
Everybody's doing it.
Yes, they are.
Jordan Belfort, Merrill Lynch companies, Bank of America. Come on.
Fuck yeah.
Everybody's doing it. So the only reason why the FBI hasn't cuffs them yet is because they haven't been caught. So so
pretty much.
Everybody.
What do you think about how is the Norwegian economy? Is it good? You guys have a pretty good economy. Pretty solid.
It's pretty solid, but unemployment rate has gone significantly higher lately due to the fact that a lot of Norwegian private investors have bet on a different economy, different money-making machine, and so a lot of Norwegian oil rig are actually getting like a lot of employers who were working at the Norwegian oil rig are getting unemployed right now because apparently our oil is so expensive. Like it's like it costs if we're going to sell an oil to the American market or the global market, our oil costs like $25. But when it comes to other companies and other countries, they cost like $5 when it comes to oil. So of course they're going to pick the other oil companies over us, and that's basically our fault because our economy is so basically high taxed and high currency and shit like that. So we're having a problem selling expensive shit, even though it's very hard to explain, but we're having a problem selling expensive oil right now. Yeah, we're not making money at all, and
that's what it just doesn't. It's crazy to me because there was a city in Michigan, which is a state in the United States, that had I think it would drop down like 69 cents a gallon. It was just that city. Yeah. How the fuck does that happen? How does nowhere else in the United States, everybody else is paying $2, $2.50 a gallon. You're paying almost 50 cents a gallon. What the fuck? That hasn't been like that since before I started driving. I mean, that was probably under the 2000s before, probably 1990s when we had gas at cheap. But how does one city out of, not even the whole state, just one city have fucking 60-cent gasoline? That doesn't make sense. Amazing. Tell me how does that happen? Something's there's fuckery going on. There's fuckery going on, and we're lied to every day.
It may be coaxed. It may be that they haven't gotten a lot of customers lately. All sorts of things could happen. A lot of decent things can happen. A lot of indecent things could happen.
True.
I'd speculate for the indecent part.
Yeah, me too. Yeah, it's sad that you believe that it's probably more bullshit than reality.
But of course, you can only speculate. You can't just say it right now or say it on paper. You just can't. You just have to analyze and just find out. That's why I'm such a huge fan of. I like the Wall Street, but I don't like how they do. I don't like how they actually rip off from the customers. Like Jordan Belfort, he basically swindled and took all the money. It's like, you can make money by being a decent guy instead. It's like these Wall Street guys who are selling stocks constantly, day traders, they can actually make a decent, fair amount of money. The problem is that they need customers who needs to stay when they buy these products or these stocks.
Absolutely.
Because when the shit, because when the shit goes down, a lot of customers are like, no, this Apple product, it's just 5- below. I'm not gonna have it. And they're like, come on, man, you gotta hold on a little bit more. I'm making money out of this shit. Yep. So
they say, fuck you, I'm out. They fucking selling down the
That's
river.
Basically what they do.
They get paid, and you get fucked. Yeah, there's a lot of scumbags. There's a lot of scumbags that are fucking swindlers. Fucking taking shit off the top, like you said, insider trading. That kind of shit is fucking definitely going on.
Yeah. If I want to swindle, I want to swindle the assholes who swindle other people. You know what I'm saying? Because I don't swindle the people themselves. I swindle the big wolf. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
Like, gotta be.
Yeah, you're not trying to take chump change. You want fucking. You're gonna make out. It's gonna be a big one.
Yeah. It's like if the chump is making money out of poor people, then I'm gonna take that chump of his wallet instead. It's like, I don't need to be everyone's bitch. I'm gonna make the biggest asshole my bitch, if you know what I'm saying. If I want to go there.
Exactly. Yeah. Another thing that I wanted to talk with you about is gun control, and I know that you guys in the Norwegian people, you don't really have too big of a gun problem there, do you?
Well, I'm glad you mentioned about that. A lot of Norwegian police officers just accidentally shot themselves because due to the rise of Islamic extremists. So they basically
shot themselves. How did that happen?
Because they basically loaded their guns, like loaded their pistols, like chamber and shit like that, and they didn't have the safety on because they were like ready to go, Call of Duty style. You know what I'm saying? It was totally ridiculous. But it's
were they
because
not trained very well? Were they not trained well with the guns?
Here's the thing: there's not a lot of criminal activity. Not a huge school shooting in Norway. It never happens. It never happens.
Why? Why do you think that is? Why does it happen here so much, but it doesn't happen there? Why does that? Do you have any idea?
Big country.
Just because our country's bigger? But you got to have schools. You got to think that there's some kid that's pissed off enough that some Norway.
I think education in America needs to be fixed. I mean, the sex education in America is a joke.
Yeah. Just
saying right now. Because we had the similar... We Norwegians has the exact similar situation what you guys are having now when it comes to sex education. It was back in Norway 1970s where a lot of nurses, they didn't practice medicine and they didn't practice about sexual organs because at that time it was considered a sin or
taboo. You couldn't speak about it.
Yeah, very taboo. But luckily enough, the internet has changed. So I hope that America can change a little bit more instead of being this awkward little Christian stepdad by being like, no, I don't want my daughter Jessica to learn about penis or vagina.
Even though she's putting them in her mouth. She's putting it in her mouth every night. She's blowing some dude, and it doesn't. I don't want her to know what a penis is. Yeah, she already does. She plays with one every day. Man. Little whore. But yeah, man.
Yeah.
The thing with the guns, though,
totally.
It is. Yes, our sex education is weird, but to me, it's these kids, you have these little kids that get picked on and shit, and that's the answer is to fucking take a gun and shoot somebody, shoot as many people as you can, and that's your payback. But if that's how you're gonna, that's how you're gonna go out.
To me, I'm gonna say this to everyone who are paying attention to this. It's normal. I don't think it's not normal. Or how should I say this? It's very hard to explain. It's normal to have these feelings about, I want to kill this motherfucker, but you don't want to act about it.
Yeah, you don't take a gun and shoot a bunch of people for it. Exactly. Yeah, you're like, oh man.
I think the acting is same thing with my aunt. She's very old. She's very wise. She doesn't have any children of her own, but she taught me that jealousy or hate or any of that, they're not evil. The act upon it is evil. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, man, that's a good way. That's a very good way of putting it. You're like you said, you're gonna think these things. You know, there's definitely many people that I've killed in my head multiple times, but I've never pulled the trigger. You know, I've never fucking went and did it. But my thing with this gun stuff is, you know, we're getting more to. A lot more people are getting concealed and carries where they can actually, you know, they take a course, they get registered, they have a license where they can actually carry a firearm on them. And, you know, there's a lot of businesses say no firearms are allowed and shit. But I have a video that's up on the RowdCAST page that this guy's in at a Subway getting a sub, and fucking these two dudes come running in hoodies, and they're going to rob the place, and they tell him to get back, and he gets back, he fucking pulls out right off his side, fucking pulls his gun out, shoots the one right in the chest, fucking walks over, shoots the other one in the chest, puts them both down, fucking holds them until the cops come there. It's like, you know, I think that's... Yeah. People say that, you know, too many guns is a problem. I don't think that's the problem. I think people that are responsible with guns, that's good. We want those people there because the cops aren't always going to be there. You don't always have protection. You should be able to protect yourself and protect everybody else if it comes down to it, you know. I would shoot somebody right in the fucking face if they were threatening my family or you know, my friends or something.
Yeah.
Fuck yeah, dude, I'd pull out a gun right now. Fucking done, son. I'll put you down. You know, I wouldn't even think twice. And I just think that there are some people that are arguing against the concealed and carry and that are against it. You know, I think things like bars and shit, I don't think you should be able to take it. If you're going to be drinking, you shouldn't be able to fucking have a gun on you. You know, that's stupid because there's always fights and shit like that.
You shouldn't have an M16 going or hiding, or you shouldn't carry a fucking M16 to a fucking Starbucks coffee. I mean, what the fuck, man?
Yeah, exactly. Or walking down the street with...
and their excuse are like, we're exercising our Second Amendment. Do you even know the Second Amendment? I'm a Norwegian. I've actually paid attention to the American history. I don't know every American history, but I know a little bit. Jesus.
Yep. And there's a reason. The reason the Constitution was put that way. There's some guys, the Truth Porn Militia and Phoenix Kiss here in the chat. They put some comments in here. They said any law in the U.S. written to regulate gun ownership is unlawful and unconstitutional. That's correct. Yeah. Phoenix Kiss said if too many guns were an issue in America, we would have never made it out of the Wild West. You know, you had to have guns to defend yourself. You know, that's why you have to take. That to carry a gun, that's why you need to take classes. You need to be registered. You need to be. You need to get education. You need to get information. You need to be safe. You know, and that's the thing. Yeah. Almost everyone that I know that have fucking arsenals of guns, those are the most responsible people I've ever seen with guns in my life. You know, they don't pull them out. They're not flashing them around. They're fucking. They take them out. They use them for what they're using them for, and fucking that's it. You know, and I really think that. I think that. It's just like, you know, you can't say a few bad apples spoil the whole bunch. It's not that way. You know, there's crazy fucking kids out there. There's crazy people out there that do crazy ass shit. You know, but you can't let them take the rap for everybody. It's fucked up, man. But yeah. So I always wonder that because you don't hear in these other countries the kind of shit that we get, and then that's you know, for you to say that you think we're behind on our education and stuff like that. I think that's a good spin. You know, that's a good thing, way to put it. Have you heard anything about this shit in Flint, Michigan, inside the United States, about the water it had lead in it, and they'd been letting the people drink it for who knows how fucking long?
Yeah. I've heard. Yeah. Bill Clinton made a statement about that. Am I right or something?
Yeah, there's a lot of people that spoke out on it. But what happened is pretty much the city officials, fucking knew this was going on. Their filtration system was fucking out of date or not working properly, and they let this shit go on. They let these kids and these people drinking lead and barium and all kinds of fucking chemicals not being filtered through their water. And you know, finally somebody stood up, and now everywhere we're doing water, like, you know, drives to bring in water and send them clean water and bottled water. And the crazy thing is, this is where it gets even more interesting. Some of the state police in Michigan, what they do is they go to these they're going to these low-income families with water and filters for their drinking water. And when they let them inside, they fucking arrest them because they have outstanding warrants. They fucking arrest them and take them away from their kids and shit. They're using these filtration systems and shit to catch people on warrants. Fucked up, man. It's like, I mean, and you could spin that two different ways. You could say, well, they have warrants, they should, they're criminals or whatever, they should be in trouble. But to do that, you're going to give them clean drinking water and you fucking arrest them. There's something wrong. There's something fucked up there. I don't like it. Fucking bothers me a lot, man.
It definitely bothers me a lot that they just allowed it. But I'm very happy that Bill Clinton. A lot of people.
I didn't ask you about Clinton. Fucking. What do you think of Bill Clinton?
Well, here's the honest truth, and I think everybody's gonna agree. At least most of us, at least. Bill Clinton, the whole Monica Lewinsky stuff about the whole thing was a pretty much a bad image. But the rest thing about how he did for the office was actually pretty good. I mean, at least he's working more hard. At least he's working. He's working his ass off rather than George Bush. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, he's definitely a favorite. He'd probably, out of all of our recent presidents, he's probably most people's most favorite. But
he is the most favorite. He has done a lot of stupid things, like accidentally kill people somewhere in the Middle East. There was a documentary, but then again,
I got a documentary. If you want to teach yourself or educate yourself, this is something that it'll learn someday. There's a documentary called The Clinton Chronicles.
The point is that Bill Clinton isn't perfect. He can make mistakes, and another thing I like about him is that he loves pussy. I mean, this is a guy I would worship too. I mean, wouldn't you like him?
He's a freak. He's a fucking freak, man. He likes cocaine and fucking pussy. That's what he does, man. He's got an issue.
Seriously, I like this guy. Seriously, I like this guy. I would sit on his lap and then I would ask him, "How do you bang so much women?" And then
he may not want to sit on his lap, man. You might get poked with his rod. You gotta fucking probably eat Viagra all day like fucking Skittles.
I consider him as the president of Charlie Sheen, sort of.
Kinda.
Like he bangs women and enjoys
He's pretty wild. Well, one thing though, this is something that you need to check out. It's called The Clinton Chronicles. I think you can find it on YouTube though. And it shows that Bill is not exactly, and with fucking documentaries and shit, it's always how somebody spins it, and you can make people believe that fucking, Jesus was a fucking cow. I mean, if you make a documentary and spin it the right way, but it's something it's worth looking into, man. I think you would enjoy it, but you have a different look on him once you see this, because he was involved in a lot of shady shit where. Again, he was when he was the I believe he was the congressman or senator or mayor, was he, of Arkansas? I forget what something in Arkansas. He was smuggling coke through these little small commuter planes and using these trains and shit too to smuggle coke. They're pretty sure that he's tied to this. And what happened is one time these two kids, one night they stumbled. They were watching these guys load this cocaine into this train, and they found these kids watching them, and they fucking murdered these kids, and they left them on the train tracks. And
dang,
Bill Clinton was good with the coroner. He was in with everybody, and the fucking coroner said that they died of natural causes. Well, one kid fucking had a bullet hole in the back of his head, and the other one, I think he was shot in the chest or something. They both had bullet holes or stab wounds. And they threw them on the tracks, and they said that they died from natural causes, and they were hit by a train. And there's a lot of shady shit to this. And he was back behind most of the shit. And they show at the very end of this fucking documentary, they show this list, and this list goes before they roll the credits. This list goes on probably for a good 4 or 5 minutes of all these names that were associated with Bill Clinton and Hillary Clinton that are dead. That bodyguards, fucking staff members, all this, a lot of them suicides, mystery diagnosis. how these people died, and it's like they snuffed a lot of fucking people out, dude, and they've covered a lot of dirt.
But but was it Bill Clinton's fault? Was it he behind the scenes, or was he just a middleman?
I don't know. That's a good question. It's something to look into, though. That is a good question. But it made me, once I seen that, because that's how I always felt too, is that the motherfucker is, pimp daddy. Fucking, he was very. You can't say he's the most intelligent. He's kind of a hillbilly kind of guy, but definitely a lot of his policies and shit I agreed with 100%.
But you gotta see him. He's done some Clinton Foundation. I've heard a lot about good stuff about that. Clinton Foundation,
the Clinton Foundation. Yep. Yeah, he does. He's still giving back. He hasn't fucking given up. He's still. But again, watch that documentary and. It'll make you think twice. You're like, whoa, that's fucking weird.
Watch that shit.
Yeah, definitely check it out, man.
Yeah. Here's you got another question or something?
Yeah.
Ask, brother.
The other thing that I was going to talk to you about. What about are you a Christian? Do you believe in God? Do you believe in Mary had a baby and the baby was Jesus and you believe all that?
Oh, yeah. I've definitely met some Polish, Norwegian girls who actually question me about my, what do I believe?
So if you tell them that you don't believe, they won't give up the pussy? Is that what it is?
I told them.
You got to lie to them? Did you lie to them?
No, I didn't lie to them. I questioned them that when they have sex with their boyfriends, do they imagine that God is watching them? Because seriously, if God is watching us 24/7, he's got to watch. It's like
he's the biggest pervert of them all. He's watching, he's fucking jerking off while everybody's fucking.
No, but seriously, I don't really believe in that much of a. I do believe there's more to it than life and death. There is no life without purpose. So, but to say that. I believe in a Noah's Ark and the whole thing.
You're going to go up in the clouds. You're going to go up in the cloud city. And he's going to open the golden gates. And you're going to sit on a cloud and float around.
I don't know.
I don't think so.
Some of this stuff is so goofy. They might as well be fairy tale like Santa Claus. Santa Claus is awesome.
I've gotten to fuck yeah, Santa Claus is awesome. But yeah, then you grow up and you're like, wait, Santa, that's bullshit. You're like, oh, Easter Bunny, that was bullshit too. You're like, the Tooth Fairy, that was fucking bullshit too. Yeah, I was being lied to the whole time. What else you guys lying to me about? Yeah, when you start thinking for yourself. I've been in big 9/11. Is that what you said? Inside job, man. What do you think about that? You think 9/11 was? Do you think that was some Saudis that got in some planes and did that, or do you think there's more to it?
There's a lot of conspiracy theories. There's a lot of inside theory that seems very plausible, and there's a lot of practical theory that it's done by Muslim extremists or Saudi extremists. Because you got to understand that the Muslim country, especially the Quran, is very extreme. It's like they have this weird idea where kill all non-believers and all that shit. It says right in the Quran. It's one of the reasons why they're so wacky. I mean, I always say to people who always questions why there's so much killing and violence in the Middle East. I say to those fools who question, it's because these idiots don't fucking practice medicine. That's why.
That's
they don't
why.
Practice medicine.
Why?
They don't.
There's no. So if you get your fingers cut off or something, there's just fuck it.
Yeah.
It's just fucking
that's the problem. It's like if a young boy teaches how to shoot and kill innocent people, what else do you expect when he's gonna grow up as a full adult? That's how he is gonna think of the way of life. But if you practice medicine like CPR, taking care of old people, parents, so on and so forth.
Dogs are crazy. Sorry about that.
Well, don't you agree with me, that?
100%. I agree with you.
Yeah.
It's
Who let the dogs out?
Yeah, fucking dog party in this fucking house.
Who let the dogs out?
I do agree with you 100% with that. The thing is do you think that this is something that I kind of believe a lot, is that the U.S. being in these conflicts in the Middle East for so long, I think that destroying these people's cities and killing families and stuff like that. I think that's made things worse. You know, that's made them.
Oh yeah, it has made it.
So
worse.
then now the younger generation that's coming up, they hate us. Of course they hate us. They're fucking everything they know has been ruined and stripped away because of us. And you know, I hate to say us because I don't agree with any of it at all, but it is. I mean, and so you got to understand where some of that hate comes from. You know.
Well, it's kind of funny. It's that they actually hated the dictators like Gaddafi and Saddam Hussein, but now you Americans have made it like you've become the bigger bullies of all time. You know what I'm saying? Even though your intentions were entirely different. But here's the thing: in the Middle East, there's no way you can have a democracy there. It's just I don't know how to explain. It's just ever since they've been teaching about the Quran and about the invisible God who watches over them, they've been shunned and feared each other ever since. I mean, if you hear in Saudi Arabia or in other countries, you hear that Muslim women can't drive cars. Wow.
They're not allowed
so what happens
to?
If yeah, I've heard some of the Muslim countries, they are not allowed to drive cars. So
what's up? Do you know why they keep their face covered up? I always wondered that. Why is it that they can't show their hair?
Yeah,
is it their hair?
It's basically, you know, they I'll say this in a nutshell. They basically done that on purpose so that you know, the wife can't get raped by other men who rapes her, so they cover her face because.
So if you got a hood on your face, you can't get raped. I'm pretty sure you could probably just pull that up. That's what they believe. Is it something that's with their religion?
They look down on women. That's all I can say in a nutshell. They look down at women and they don't think women should walk freely. They should be in a house. They put women and treat women like dogs. But here's the funny thing. A lot of these, not a lot, I mean, a few of these former Muslim women has turned to, you know, sort of anti-ISIS, you know, female soldiers fighting against ISIS.
Yeah,
and the ISIS soldiers are terrified.
Yeah.
But that's the thing. Because here's the thing. I have nothing against problem with women. I really don't. I have problems with bitches, but that's a totally different topic. But here's the thing. These Muslim extremists, they don't appreciate women so badly that I think, personally, in my opinion, that I think they're just afraid of what a woman does when she freaks out or about to go berserk towards a man. I mean,
yeah, exactly.
Just look
I'd be
at
scared too.
ISIS.
That's what you got to keep it. They got to keep it under control. You know,
well,
they know
actually,
how crazy women are.
Yeah. But actually, I don't want to sound like a tough guy. But I'm actually not afraid of a total. I'm not afraid of a total bitch, who's going psycho. But I do get a little bit. I do get a little bit nervous when a woman goes really ballistic. But you know, you gotta. How should I say this? One time there was this girl who was like really trying to be bitchy and all that attitude, and I'm like, don't come to my face. I don't appreciate it. That's not how you. That's not how you should behave as a young woman. And then she's like mouthing her off, and she thinks she can get away. And you know what I did? I just slapped her in the face, and that kept her mouth shut because nobody has ever done that. I didn't beat her down.
You gave her a good slap across the face.
Yeah, because I needed to show her to prove that you can't just walk around and think that you're a high class Paris Hilton bitch who thinks you can get free cars, free meals, free chihuahuas. You can't just walk around. I'm not encouraging a lot of males.
I was gonna say, yeah, I don't agree with hitting women. I couldn't do it, but I understand what you're saying.
Well, I wouldn't exactly hit a woman. I mean, if she is a total bitch, and like she didn't
love slap,
respect you.
Little straighten that lip up.
Okay, love slap is the right word. That's the right word. But you know what? Those are the times I've actually slapped towards a woman. They actually get really turned on.
Yeah, they like it.
I'm not joking.
Man. They like a little spank on
the ass. They really like it. I've done it once, and they get really like. Suddenly they are like. The next day they started groping your ass and like, oh, I'm sorry for being such a blah blah blah, because I don't know, it works, and I don't encourage. I don't encourage that all men should treat. I don't encourage all men should treat women like bitches, but you shouldn't be such such a fucking doormat when a woman treats you that poorly. Like, we're talking about a woman who just shun you, humiliate you. I mean, of course, there's always the professional way. If she's the total bitch, just say it out loud in front of her family members. You know what? This isn't working out. We're done. And then walk out. Because sometimes you can't just slap her in the face because she'll try to press charges on you, assault and so on and so forth. So it's very hard. It's very hard to explain.
Yep,
but I do get a lot
that's
of
called assault. Yep.
Yeah, but here's the thing. When I actually slap women, I don't slap women because I dislike them or their attitude. I slap them because they seem to think that they can just get away with it, and I don't approve of that. I actually don't like. I don't. It's not that I slap every single woman. If she's a bitch, then I just walk away. But if she comes after me and it's like, oh, you can't just do that, and then get the fuck out of there. And then I'm like, get the fuck out of here. Don't ever come to my face again. Go cry in a corner. Try that again. I will slap you again. I am not your little boy. And then she's holding her tears really bad. But again, I've even.
She's holding her what?
Again,
is her face or what'd you say?
Her face was like she was like holding her tears.
Oh yeah,
tears, like
tears. Yeah.
Yeah. But here's the thing: I don't encourage that all women are bitches, because I encourage a lot of young girls who happen to be so stuck up bitches. They say like, "Oh, men are all rapists. All men are disgusting," and I say it out loud. Then why don't you go to a self-defense class like boxing? I've fought women in the ring. I've actually worship these girls because these women know what they want. They know what they are. They don't see themselves as a bunch of pussy ass class bitches. They're women, and they fight like men. And I've fought women in the ring in boxing. I've done boxing.
Did you knock them out? Did you punch them?
It's
fucking,
not.
Did they hit hard?
What do you mean?
Like when you fight, you said you fought them in the ring. Did you give them a uppercut?
Of course, and they give me a quick, hard punch in the stomach. So yeah, I've fought women in the ring. I've found new respect towards women who have self-respect, who don't always have to depend on another man. It's like I hate hypocrites who say, "Oh, I don't want to be independent on a man." But you end up being dependent on a man when you wait at home, cook dinner, and then you tell him do this and do that. Oh, I want money, I want purse. So
that's how they roll, dude. That's how they roll.
Yeah, that's how they roll. I mean, there's a reason why they're called, why a lot of girls call themselves gold diggers. And yeah, they may say that they're not.
Not all, but they're out there.
Not all of them, of course.
There's conniving bitches out there, man. They're looking to take money, take advantage of people, and there's guys who do the same thing though. There's men doing the same fucking thing. Absolutely.
There are rich guys out there who make money by sleeping with high class gold diggers who pretends they're not gold diggers, but we both know they are freaking gold diggers. I mean, it's like paying them $3,000 a month. Come on, it's like let's be real. An old man hitting on a 20-year-old girl. Come on, it's old enough.
Yeah, that's how I always think. If you're a 70-year-old man and there's a 26-year-old blonde,
old enough
chick
to be
with
your daughter,
big
old
tits,
enough.
and she's like in love with you. Like, come on, dude. If you really think that's fucking real, you're fucking crazy.
Yeah, but then again, these guys have money, so they can do whatever the fuck they want. It's not like I freak out, but if you got money, if you want to fuck this girl, that's fine by me. But everybody knows that she's only interested for the money, and so. But yeah, I do get really pissed off when girls get raped because I don't like when. Girls. So just because I bitch slap girls doesn't mean that I approve rape or anything. I get really pissed off. I actually helped a girl at a party once. She was being sexually taken advantage because she was totally drunk. She was like, she hit the sofa and nobody helped her, obviously. So I helped her carry it to the bedroom. let her sober through the night. You know what I'm saying? So, but if I didn't participate or help that young girl at a party, those guys would probably just take off their belt and quick porking her pussy, and
Yep.
it's a very common thing. So I try to be I try to be as how should I say? I try to be as nice and humble as possible, but I don't like to be a guy who likes to please this guy who likes to please everyone. I don't like it. It's like if you're an asshole and it's like saying shit to me, and I'm like, okay, you probably have a bad day or a good day, whatever. But if you come to my face again and talk shit about me, then I'll start being a little bit edgy. Like I don't appreciate it.
Yeah,
and I encourage a lot of people.
You gotta be. You gotta be. If you get disrespected, you gotta stand up. Give them. That's what I used to do when I was younger. I would fucking slap. If someone was disrespecting me, I'd slap them in the face. And if I slapped them and they didn't do anything, then it was like, well, this is a bitch. If he's not gonna fucking attack me after I just slapped him or spit on him, then fuck, it ain't even worth my time. So I ain't like that anymore. But that's how it used to be. Those were my rules. That's how I rolled.
Yeah, but those rules are still applying to the same day. Here's the thing: there's an old wise man once said, respect the rules, respect people, but if a man lays a hand on you, fuck him up and send him to the cemetery. You have no right to be. You have no right to be such a goddamn pleasing, abiding citizen. It makes you a total fool. I mean, the government is fucking you in the ass by making you pay taxes. Mm-hmm. So don't try to be this.
Taxes aren't even real. I don't even think you have to pay taxes. I think there's ways around that.
No. But here in Norway, we have to pay a large sum of taxes, and we know those tax monies aren't going really steady at times. But the point is that who are you trying to fool? There will always be people hating you. There will always be idiots hating on you when you got a certain look, a certain move. If they find out that you're very good at flirting with women, they will take that and spin it as a news broadcast and turn it against you, calling you names, telling you this and that, only because they're fucking jealous. Instead of being a fucking jealous moron, why don't you just go to that person and like, hey, you're pretty good at flirting with women. I like your style. Could you give me some decent advice? But rarely people do that. So instead, they just take the easy route and I don't like this guy. He's good at making everyone laugh, but I'm gonna talk shit about him because you know what? I just don't like him at all.
Yeah, we say that they hate us because they ain't us. That's what we like to say. They fucking if you have something that's better, something that attracts more people. It's just like this podcast. You have something that's better quality than someone else, or it's getting more people's attention. People are gonna. It's only a matter of time before people start to slander you and come at you, or make shit up about you and try to spread shit around. That's the name of the game, man, in a lot of different aspects of life.
I've learned the hard way that it's good to have haters. A wise
that should give you motivation to do more and be better.
Yeah. A wise mutual friend, a Brazilian man, once told me that having haters isn't actually a very bad thing. It proves that you got something that they don't, and the reason why they hate is because they suck at their life. I mean, that's what I would do if I lost. If I I ate an ice cream and I accidentally dropped, and then I would cry like a little bitch. And then take someone's ice cream and then started preaching. If I was a total brat,
What did you say? If you dropped your ice cream, you would steal somebody else's ice cream?
No, if I accidentally dropped my ice cream, like if I dropped my soda on accidentally, like I slipped my soda and I cry like a little whiny little brat, and then I take someone's soda just to feel better. That's how the mentality is for idiots. So you can't teach them when they're very stupid. Only their own parents can teach them from right and wrong. So
it goes back to the thing that you were saying about education, educating people. I mean, when you have a child, it's a human being. You have to. I'm about to find out about this. You have to mold that human being with goals.
Because everybody's Everybody's a brat when they're young. Everybody's very reckless when they're young, and if you don't,
I think you're supposed to be. You're supposed to get that shit out, though. You got to be wild a little bit. You gotta live, man.
Yeah.
You gotta fucking, redline it a couple times and see how far you can push it. There's definitely plenty of times that I almost died, and that I think that those kind of opened my eyes a little bit, made me admire or respect living maybe a little bit more. Maybe that's why I'm still alive today. I don't know, but
Yeah, another thing is, you mentioned it as like the part where I mentioned is like girl slapping this like that. Another thing what really pisses me off is that a lot of girls go for the bad boys, who are totally low life scumbags. It's just obviousness. It's like it's not the girl's fault. It's just the parents' fault. It's like you didn't teach your young.
I don't know. I don't know about that. I think that may be something instilled in like a woman's brain. Like for women, they always want that someone that's the disrespectful, that asshole. I mean, I think once they get a little bit older, that changes. But I think, especially when they're young, I think they want that bad image, that guy that smokes and has tattoos and is gonna fuck the shit out of them.
Well, it is debatable, but you got to understand that most wives are killed by their husbands when it comes to their own homes and stuff like that, like wife beating and shit like that. And it is terrible, absolutely terrible to hear stories like that, but it happens. And there are actually sociopaths and control freaks who just they don't know how to just let their own spouse to do whatever they want to do. And on top of that, women are very strange creatures. Believe me, I've been there, done that. So
yeah, well, a man and a woman are fucking, we're two different. We're the same species, but two different. Fucking, I mean, our brains think totally different. We function totally different, and that's just the name of the fucking game. It is what it is. I appreciate you, man, coming on here. I'm about to go eat some dinner. And thank you. We can do this again sometime. Fucking, I appreciate you. I know what time is it there? Sure. It's pretty late there, ain't it?
It is. I was actually going to order pizza, so you fucking son of a bitch.
Sorry. What time is it there?
Okay.
What time is it there?
Cool. It's cool. I was joking. It's 23.07.
23.07, is that in military time? What is that? What time? 23. So it's
it's
almost 12. It's 11 something.
It's 5 minutes over 11.
Well, hell yeah. We'll go get some fucking pizza, man. What do you have? Is pizza good in Norway? Oh, it's too late because you went on the show?
Yeah. We had to do. You and I had to do this broadcast. So
sorry, brother.
No, it's cool, man. It's nice to just nice to talk about topics.
Conversation, man. That's what a podcast is. That's what this isn't.
It is.
That's what a lot of people think, that I'm fucking. A lot of people think that this is like big time, or this is fucking a radio. I'm not. This isn't a fucking radio show. This is a podcast. This is a conversation. I bring on interesting people. I have conversations. I'm doing this thing way different than a lot of these people are on here on Spreaker, and I like it that way. So I thank you so much for coming on, taking time out of your fucking day, and being a guest. And again, we can do this again, man. If you enjoyed yourself, I'd love to talk more with you.
Love the part when you said love slap. I think it's actually I think I should use
You're
that
a woman
word.
beater. I was saying love slap.
No. I'm not a woman
but you know
beater.
what? Cultures are different. It doesn't mean.
No, I don't think woman beater. I'm more like a serious Hugh Hefner guy. Like, I like to be a gentleman, but if you don't treat me as a gentleman, I will make you like me as a gentleman.
I like that.
Like I give you flowers and candy, and you spit on my face. That's not how I would take it.
Hell yeah.
Seriously.
Well,
trust me.
Thanks. I feel you, brother.
Trust me. If you see things in my way, you will definitely understand. I'm telling you, brother. It's not always about being black. It's not always black and white, but you got to see things.
No, it's not always black and white. You're 100% right.
So you got to see things in perspective, in your perspective, and then also in other people's perspective. But of course, you got to respect women, because women are women, and they can cheat, they can steal, but at the same time,
there's a lot of conniving cunts out there, man. Like we said. Ole, thank you so much again, bro.
Yeah.
I will catch you on the fucking I will catch you on the motherfucking flip side. Thank you for being a part of the RowdCAST.
Yeah. One last thing.
sir.
We should actually do this more often, so I can actually post that poster. You have that on Skype, and so that we can send that shit.
Hell yeah.
On and on.
Yeah. Anytime you want, man. Let me know. We'll do this thing. All
Yeah.
right. Thank you, bro.
All right.
Later. All right, guys. You know how this fucking thing goes. I appreciate everybody that listens. Thank you so much. Keep listening to my shit. I got a bunch of weird fucking people coming. Even weirder, even crazier. You never know where the conversation's gonna go. You never know what the fuck I'm gonna talk about. One last thing, to say is we're about to fucking do some new things. Unfortunately, things come to an end, and I will no longer be a part of the Three Lunatics. They are going to go in a different direction than the RowdCAST. I'm about to have a baby. I got to focus on this thing. This is my baby. This is where all my concentration has always been, and I gotta stick to this. So I wish everybody luck. I wish Zach Iron Man over there luck with his show, and I'm sure he'll be doing funny things. I'm sure I'll still be catching it when I can. But you know what we do here. I do it my own way, and things aren't going to change. They're only going to get weirder. That's what the RowdCAST does. So thank you so much. I love you all. Share my shit, like my shit, hit that little heart up there, and I'm going to keep bringing you weird shit, okay? Keep bringing you cool conversations. So thanks again. I love you, motherfuckers. Peace out.